Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Own Your Own Freedom. I am out here in the park behind my apartment, and I just want to come on here and do a shout out to one of my commentators, one of my subscribers, and also give you a little sneak peek on really how the narcissist views you and what it is that they can't stand about you shining in their midst, around them, in their circle. So stay tuned. So first, let me give a shout out to Serenity Fields, one of my subscribers who left a comment on one of my videos. I forget which one, but this one is super insightful. She says, I've had problems with my father as well, talking about my narcissistic father, and it's like this darkness he's trying to pull me down into. These are people with very low level, what I call frequencies. I agree with that 100%. They want you to feel aggravated and frustrated in a never-ending cycle. It's like a feeling of being trapped within an emotion and never being able to find your way out of it. This is what they want. This is how they control you and try to prevent you from growing and being the best person you can be. Preach it. This is often done from withholding validation. These two words, non-validation, is what I grew up with. Our realities have been denied. I love your videos. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your validation. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's one of the things that a narcissist can't stand. And that's part of their relationship with you, is that the people around them are not allowed to shine. They're not allowed to develop into the person they're meant to be. They're not allowed to function on high frequency. Have you ever noticed that whenever you're around a narcissistic person, their negativity just has to swallow you up? It's like they pull out their tentacles of negativity and depression and lies and manipulation and gaslighting. They sort of send out their tentacles, and it's up to you really whether you receive it or respond to it or not. And so in my case, growing up in a narcissistic household as a child, I didn't really have a choice, because number one, I didn't know what narcissism was, and I didn't know how to respond to it. What is that? Oh, that's a little, someone left that there. And I didn't know how to respond to that, so I just took it in. As a child, you're a sponge, and you sort of take in whatever your parents feed you, even if it's toxic. So I took it in, and I took it as my own, and it was only when I left my home that I realized that, yeah, none of this is healthy for me. And it's like he was doing it intentionally, and he was. Part of it was intentional, part of it was just his toxic inward reality that he wanted to force people into. She said it really nicely. She said, Serenity said that they sort of pull you into this feeling that you can't escape from. And that's really true. Is that's what they're in. And they want you to join them so that by you being in that pit, they can sort of pull themselves out. What's unfortunate is that they never actually grow beyond pulling people down to their level. They never actually progress to become healthy. They just sort of swallow people up and expect you to live with it, expect you to deal with it. And so for me, what I would say to Serenity is this is absolutely true. And one of the sickest ways that narcissists treat people and sort of drag them into the layer is by denying validation, just like she said. It's something about the human experience. When we are denied something, we want it even more. Like, we always want what we can't have. So the narcissist will always be the one, even if the whole family or the whole group that you're with, whether you're at home, whether you're in a work environment, whether you're in a friendship environment, no matter what the group says, there's always going to be that narcissist who just refuses to acknowledge that you are talented, you have something of virtue, you are good, you have something positive within you, you are a good person, you have a great personality, you're beautiful. They're going to deny you of all these things because that's what they feel. None of that is coming their way, no matter how many people tell them what they are, what they're beautiful, or whatever they want people to think about them. They're never going to believe it. And so they don't want to take that away from them. They don't want to take validation away for themselves, because if they acknowledge you, then that means that for them, that means that they're somehow less than, which is not true. And so that's what they do, is they deny you validation. I grew up in a house where I was never acknowledged. You know, I was acknowledged as someone who basically took from the narcissist. That's how my father viewed all of his children. That's how he viewed his wife. It was just like, you guys are a burden to me. That I have to think about you at all is a burden, you know. That I have to stop my life to make sure you're okay is a burden, you know. We're not going to validate he never validated my talents. I have many talents that I came to find out that, you know, that I was good at after the fact, after I left the home. Because I never was confident in myself and my singing abilities and my athletic abilities and in my profession now. I just never was never confident. And it took to the point of me actually leaving the home for me to actually get validation from other people and for it to stick, because he just never acknowledged that. Never acknowledged that I was a person, and that I was an attractive person, that I had a nice personality, or like even now when people say it to me, it's difficult for me to receive it, because I'm just like, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that looks like. Your main source of validation should come from your parents. And when it doesn't, you go looking for it. Thankfully, I wasn't, you know, dragged into a slew of relationships that damaged me. I had some protection, I believe. God protected me from all sorts of sick people who would have gladly taken advantage of my insecurities. But I was protected. But many people, and I would say even my siblings, they just go from relationship to relationship looking for validation, looking for someone to just acknowledge that they are there, that they mean something. Human beings need validation. And it's a never-ending cycle of, you know, emotional insecurity and depression and loneliness and low self-esteem when you come from a household of a narcissist. They just can't bear to let you shine at all. There's no way that you will be in their home, you will be in their presence and shine. There's no way. You make a joke and they won't laugh at it. You do something, you do something successful in your life and they won't acknowledge it. Or if they do, it's like piss poor. They won't. You do something nice for someone and they won't acknowledge it. Something nice for them, they won't acknowledge it. You develop a cure for cancer and they will still ask, why didn't you go to the moon? I don't know. It's just like they will never acknowledge you because they don't have a source to take that from. They don't have it. They're empty. They really are. And so for Serenity and for anybody else who is sort of in the same, all of us are in the same boat. Just acknowledge that you never got validation from your father, your mother, anyone who was narcissistic in your life. And you don't depend on, your life and your progress does not depend on their validation. There will be plenty of other sources, healthy sources of validation for you. All you have to do is find them. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments down below. Share this video with all your friends and people who you know would appreciate this and this would resonate with. Also, do go to my Subscribestar account and subscribe and join. The subscriptions only start at $2 a month, and that really helps to support this channel and support the community that I'm growing and all the different, you know, changes that I'm making. Help support because, you know, it takes a village, right? It takes a village to raise this channel. So anyway, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.